Welcome back to the Halftime Show here on K105. Sam Gormley with you for another edition of our Cougar Conversations segment. Today we are in the Grayson County Technology Center where things are happening that you probably don't even know about. I'm joined by the principal from the Grayson County Technology Center and an assistant principal at Grayson County High School and a track coach and a dad and all of – what other hats are you wearing, Matt Hayes?
Listen, I'll just put on about any hat somebody's willing to give me right now. So very blessed, though.
You've got great things happening here, and it's one of those that when I hear about the Grayson County Technology Center, I know Karen Lewis at the board office will send us things, and it's like, they do that? They do that? And it's unbelievable at all of the things. And I just want to, and I know this is maybe the most generic question ever, but for those that hear about the Technology Center, they don't know anything about it, what would you want them to know?
Well, the first thing and most important for me is I would really like for them to understand that we have career and technical education. And, you know, what's important for me as an administrator and our staff is just to provide opportunities for students. And so one of the things we've worked really hard to do, in 2019, we started with an educational technician apprenticeship, you know, kind of a grow your own teacher program. We didn't know what it was going to look like. Nobody else in the state was doing it. And, you know, now there are 2 districts in the state. It's no longer called educational technician, but we actually have K through 12 teacher apprenticeship where students can take they take family consumer science classes, and at the end of those 6 courses, they can co-op, just like a normal co-op that you would think when you think of plumbing or HVAC or automotive. But they co-op as a teacher, and it gives them an opportunity their senior year to gain clinical experience that they can then translate to college. We've partnered with Western Kentucky University, and it's just been a great opportunity. So now we have 6 students that are apprentices, and what I've said all along about it is at the end of the day, if the teachers aren't doing a good job, like it's our fault, because we're teaching these young people how to be teachers. They're also able to fill gaps and provide extra instructional support in the classroom. And we also have an early childhood education apprenticeship, kind of preschool, which is completely different than K through 12, which I had an opportunity to learn. But then in carpentry, we changed that to building and apartment maintenance. So we have kids who have opportunities to learn HVAC, plumbing, electrical. We've also added heavy equipment. We have a local business partner who has a heavy equipment simulator, and they bring it in. Of course, we're still doing welding. We still have automotive. Our machining program actually has added an engineering component. We partnered with the University of Louisville Speed School, where we have a post-secondary document where those students know if they take these classes here at Grayson County, that they have interview preference at Speed School, and that we can prepare them to be an engineer. And that's partnered with our computer programming, which is also part of the University of Louisville Speed program. And then we've also added some opportunities in health science. And so then we also have our business and marketing and our agriculture and, of course, family consumer science, which I mentioned earlier. They really have 4 pathways. They have culinary, family consumer science, and then they have that early childhood apprenticeship and then that K-12 apprenticeship. So I think that I would just really like the community to understand that we are here to provide opportunities for students. I had a meeting this morning with this student, and I said, listen, at the end of the day, your senior year can really be wide open, but let's try to get you ready for something when you leave here. And, nobody knows if they want to do that for the rest of your life. Sam, you might not do this for the rest of your life. I might not do this for the rest of my life, but let's give them an opportunity that when they graduate, they can go be successful.
I know one of the things that I appreciated is a couple of years ago, I did a segment very similar on Halftime, and it was a signing day. As a principal, seeing these signing days, can you go into that again? Because I know you've had more since then. Is there anything more rewarding?
Well, probably not. As a track coach, and you mentioned that earlier, watching my athletes go on and be successful is just fabulous. I think about Cade Flatt. Most of you probably don't know who that is, but it was a kid from Marshall County who made it to the second round of the prelims for the USA Track and Field team wearing his Marshall County Marshals uniform. And I thought, how cool would that be? But I feel that way when I see our students sign to be a mechanic, when they sign to be a plumber, when they sign to be an electrician, when they sign to be a teacher. So like those 6 apprentices that are working as teachers, they're going to teach kids later on, but we're getting to have an impact on that now. And so absolutely not. The most rewarding thing that I do, that I have the opportunity, that I'm blessed to do, is just watch young people find a way to be successful. And so I say this a lot. I say I'm blessed a lot because I am, and I say that I get to provide opportunities a lot because that's what I think my job is.
I know you had an important visitor about 6 months ago or so, and bringing some monetary aspects into the area and into this school. Who came And what is that money going to be put towards here at the Grayson County Technology Center?
So the governor came, and then our state local representatives were also here. And what's kind of happened, our building is 50 years old. We're just running out of electricity. We're running out of room. We really joke like we have to steal electricity to get electricity to do something else. So we have some fabulous robotic arms. They require electricity. We have some, our machining program is engineering. But it's really through 3D printing. So, we think about that additive manufacturing versus subtractive manufacturing. Well, that requires electricity. To do computer programming, you need electricity. So it's just all about an upgrade in the building so that we can continue to provide opportunities. I guess another thing that's kind of neat, for me is like a lot of times when people think of, they use the word vocational or they say career and technical education, they're like, that's those kids. I'm blessed enough to also be in charge of advanced placement in Grayson County. And so I don't know how many administrators are in charge of advanced placement and career and technical ed. Speed School said it the best. They're the same kids. You want the best of the best putting electricity in your house, the best of the best plumbing your house, the best of the best building your house. And so sometimes the skill set's a little different, but they still have to have the same technical knowledge. I always think technical is a synonym for academic. And so their academic skill set might be a little bit different, but you still want those kids to be able to think creatively, just maybe using their knowledge in a different way. So it's just really interesting to watch the connection that those advanced placement kids should also be career and technical ed kids. And so sometimes I think we miss that, especially on the math side. We have local businesses who ask for math strategies to use with their new workers because they can't do the math that's necessary to be successful at their job. So
I know that a lot of opportunities for students. So what we're going to have to do is next week on our Cougar Conversations segment, we're going to dive into all of the field trips and some of the opportunities the students get outside of the classroom. So be sure to look forward to that next week. But what we have to do is get back to our halftime show right here on K105.